Erica Joseph says, can you explain to me why I got the good pronunciation in my mind, but it is difficult for me to say? Now, there are a couple of things to understand about why this is, okay? It's great that you can hear it in your head. That's fantastic. That means you're on your way toward the first part of this. And the first part of this is awareness of different sounds, right? If you can hear the differences between a British English accent, an American English accent, your own version of an English accent, if you can hear the differences between these things and keep them in your mind, that's great. That means you're developing your awareness. Now, awareness is extremely important. Awareness is what lets you say, oh, this must be someone from England talking to me. This must be from someone from America talking to me. I can tell. Oh, great. You're aware. This is very good. If everything sounds the same to you, that's the first step you have to work on, your awareness, okay? So, first step complete. Second step, self-awareness. Now, self-awareness is not just hearing the differences between accents or pronunciation out there in the world when I'm speaking, listening to me or listening to others. It's not just that. It's being able to hear what you say. That's actually a step farther. And that's harder to do, to listen to yourself. We're not used to being aware of ourselves. We're not used to paying attention to the sounds that we make. Right? Often you hear people say when they listen to a recording of themselves, oh my God, I can't hear. Is that what my voice sounds like? I can't believe it. I hate how my voice sounds in recordings. Bad news. Your voice sounds like that. You're just not used to hearing it. You're not used to being aware of your voice. You hear it inside your head, which is mixed with your own idea of yourself and your personality and all that stuff. Your voice sounds like the recording. Right? So you have to begin to develop an awareness of the difference between the sounds that you make when you speak and that thing in your head. That is your awareness of the differences between other people's pronunciation, right? You may have seen last week I posted a video about myself working on my British accent, right? And I'll share it in the future as well. But that basic idea is, can I hear what I hear and the differences between that and my own pronunciation, and then make my own pronunciation match that because I'm very aware of the sounds that I'm making. Very, very subtle differences between the sounds that I'm making and what I'm trying to copy. That technique is called shadowing, where you actually listen to a little clip of sound and maybe it's only 15 seconds long, and you just try to imitate it again and again, listening carefully to it and your own sound, listening to yourself. That's the self-awareness part, okay? Now, the other part of this is knowing which mouth positions to make, to change your mouth in a way so that you can make those sounds. And that's really hard for a lot of people, but you have to know that different languages use different mouth positions, and that's just a fact. These sounds that come from different languages, they're called phonemes. English, the English language, has 44 phonemes. Other languages have a lot of phonemes. Japanese has many less than that, right? So the phoneme is the specific sound or sounds that make up a language, all the sounds in the language. There are sounds like dr that are in some languages and not in others. There are things back there that are, for example, not in English. There's things like sh, sh, not sh, but sh, 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 that are a basic part of things like Chinese. Right? You have to be able to hear those and then say, what do I need to do with my mouth to make that sound? So you're combining your self-awareness and your awareness of the sound, your attention to yourself, to then force yourself to figure out the mouth position to do it. All right? So, for example, when I was first learning Chinese, I would always say 谢谢, 谢谢, to say thank you. 谢谢, 谢谢. It's wrong. then I notice, there's something different about what I'm saying and what I'm hearing there. Something's not quite right. Change the tongue a little bit. Flatten it out. What do I have to do to make myself sound like that? Instead of shh, I need to open my mouth up a little bit and place my tongue up closer to the roof of my mouth. And then it sounds more like a hiss. Okay. That's not in English. Wow, I never heard that before coming out of my own mouth, but that's what I have to do. That matches. Those two things sound the same. 谢谢, 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 谢谢. Oh, 谢谢. Okay, now I got it. Right? That's that basic sound. At least it's much closer. And I don't claim to have perfect Chinese pronunciation, of course. But that's the idea. And you can get closer and closer and closer. Now, the next layer then, once you're able to change your mouth shape, once you're able to figure out what to do with your mouth to make it make the sounds that you hear in your head, once you figure that out, the next step is to build the right habits. So you'll notice that you'll be able to make the sound, you'll be able to say it correctly, and you'll go, oh yeah, I got it. But then, when you're in a conversation or you're trying to explain something, you'll go right back to what you said before. Why is that? Well, it's because you can't think about 100 things at the same time. You're trying to think about what you're saying. You're trying to think about the grammar. You're trying to think about the right phrases. You have so many things in your head at the same time that you don't have the concentration to focus on pronunciation, right? This is what I call the bandwidth problem. The bandwidth problem. Now, for this one, the solution is habits. In other words, you need to practice it 1 billion times until your mouth just does it by itself, right? If you learn to play ping pong or you learn to dance or whatever, you're not thinking about every single movement. A dancer is not thinking about, okay, ankle up, da, da, da. They are at first, but then their muscle memory, it's called muscle memory, takes over. And that's what you want. You want your muscle memory to take over because when it does, that's one less thing you have to think about. Then you can focus on what you're saying because your mouth automatically makes the sound because you built the right habits, because you practiced it 10 billion times. That's the idea. Okay, so awareness, self-awareness, imitation and shadowing. Shadowing is listening to sound and trying to copy it. Mouth shapes, mouth positions. Sorry for spitting on the camera. Mouth shapes, mouth positions to make the right phonemes or mouth sounds. Then habits by repetition, muscle memory, and then you're good to go. That's how it works. So hopefully that's clear. Hopefully I answered your question. It is a very good question, Erica. Thank you so much. Now, if you haven't already, guys, I would appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button or the like button. Also, if you want to see future videos, live classes, make sure you subscribe or follow, and also check out my courses in the links in the description.